Hello students, welcome back to the new video from Gokuldham International School. In this video, we are going to discuss or we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 7, diversity in living organism. We all very well know that what is living organism, and in this video we are going to discuss about diversity in living organism. So what is the diversity and how this diversity occur? Diversity means the different kinds of organism that we see around us, known as diversity. Or the diversity means the variation among the individuals and different species. So in this class we are going to discuss about classification, nomenclature and different types of animals and plants or different types of organisms. First point is, what is the need for classification of living organism? The living organisms have evolved on the earth over millions of years, that we know very well know. There is vast variety of living organism. Living organism shows a wide range of variation. For example, some microscopic bacteria are of few micrometer in size, and some organisms like whale and redwood tree are about 30 meters and 100 meters in size. Some pine tree live for thousands of years, where insects like mosquito die within the few days. Some organisms are colorless and even transparent, and some are brightly colored. To understand and study all these organisms individually, it is impossible. If they are arranged in different groups based on their similarities in the character, then it is easier to study the different groups as a whole. Means to study each and individual organism, it is impossible because the lots of organisms are different types of organisms are there on earth. So it is necessary to study, to classify them on the basis of the similarities in the character. Then it is easier to study the different groups and the organisms. Now the classification of living organism. The arranging of organism into different groups on the basis of the similarities in their characteristic is called a classification of living organism. Means classification means to arrange the organism in the different groups based on the characters or similarities in their characters. So this is known as classification. In simple terms, we can say that classification means arranging the different organism on the basis of their similarities in character into different groups, known as classification. Now, basis of classification of living organism. So what basis we can classify or we classify the living organism? The main characteristic which are consideration for the classification of living organism into different groups are, these are the different characters that we use in a classification. For example, whether they are made up of prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. Then whether the cell occur singly or they are grouped together and live as an individual group. Whether they are produce their own food by photosynthesis or get their food from outside. And next point is, of the organism which produce their own food, for example plant, what is the level of organization of their body. Next is the animal, what is the level of organization of their body and what are the special organs and their functions. The characteristic used for the classification of plant will be different from the characteristic used for the classification of animal, because plants make their own food and animal get their food from outside. Means there are certain characters. On the basis of this character, we classify the organisms. For example, we classify the plants and animal on the basis of their characteristic of obtaining food. For example, plant obtain their food or they produce their food by the process called photosynthesis, and animals obtain their food from the outside, means they obtain food, they cannot produce their food. So the plants known as autotrophs, means they produce their own foods, and animals known as heterotrophs, means they obtain their food from other organism like plants. So here the production of food or obtaining food is the characters, and on this character we classify plants and animals differently. And in the plants and in the animals, we classify these groups of plant and animal on the different characters. Now classification and evolution. The present day complex living organisms have evolved from the earlier simple form due to change in their body design over millions of years. This want to say that today we see different organisms which are complex in nature, but they are evolved from the simple organisms during the evolution. The body design of living organisms are gradually changing due to changing in the environment and the need to adapt themselves to change in the environment. Some groups of organisms having ancient body design have not changed much during the evolution and have simple form of structure. These organisms called primitive or lower organism. For example, prokaryotic bacteria. Prokaryotic bacteria are not that much evolved. So this kind of organism known as primitive organism or lower organism. Some organisms have acquired their body designs relatively recently and have complex form of structure, and this organism known as advanced or higher organism. For example, different plants and humans and mammals are known as complex or advanced organism because of their body design, because of they evolve in certain manners to adapt with the environment. Next point is the hierarchy of classification. The living organisms have been broadly classified into 5 main kingdoms. First one is Monera, second one is Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Each kingdom have been further classified into smaller subgroups at various levels, and these levels are kingdom, phylum for plants and division from phylum from animals and division for plants, then class, then order, then family, then genus and the species. By arranging the organism on the basis of hierarchy and characteristic into a smaller and smaller group, we arrive at the basis of the classification called species. The species is the basic level of hierarchy. And what is the species? Species is the group of organisms which are similar, though to breed and perpetuate. Means the species is the group of organisms that are similar in characters and they can interbreed naturally and produce the viable offspring known as species. This definition can be asked in exam that what is species? Species means a group of organisms that are similar to each other and they can interbreed naturally and produce viable offspring or fertile offspring known as species. Now, 5 kingdom classification of living organism. that is given by Whittaker. The organism divide into prokaryote and eukaryote. Prokaryotic organism known as Monera and eukaryotes divide into two groups, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular include protista. With the cell wall, it is a protista. Now next point is five kingdom classification, that is given by Whittaker, also known as Whittaker five kingdom classification, in which they divide or classified organism into five kingdom. First kingdom is Monera, which is a prokaryotic organism, then unicellular organism Protista, then fungi, then plant and animal. So now let us see by each one in detail. First one is Monera. They are mostly prokaryotic unicellular, do not have definite nucleus, may or may not have cell wall, and the mode of nutrition is autotroph or heterotrophs. Examples include bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, and mycoplasma. You can see in the figure that first picture of is a bacteria, second picture is of cyanobacteria, third one is a blue-green algae and mycoplasma. Next kingdom is Protista. They are eukaryotic unicellular, mostly aquatic. Some have cilia, means hair-like structure on the body, or flagella, which help them to in moving, and mode of nutrition may be autotrophs or heterotrophs, means they obtain their food as of by autotrophs or heterotrophs. Examples of Protista are diatoms, protozoans, and some algae. Next kingdom is fungi. Fungi are eukaryotic unicellular or multicellular. They do not have chlorophyll and cannot prepare their own food, and are it is a heterotrophs. They use decaying organic material as a food and so are called saprophytes. Some of them live in association with algae and they are known as lichen. Examples of fungi are yeast, agaricus, aspergillus, and penicillium. And, and here is the picture of lichen, which is the association of algae and fungi. Next and fourth kingdom is plant kingdom, in which all the plants are included. They are multicellular eukaryotic having cell wall. They use chlorophyll for the photosynthesis, and all the plants include in this group. They are divided in five groups: Theriophytes, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperms. Means in plant kingdom all the plants are included, and the most important character of plant is they are multicellular and eukaryotic organism, and they have cell wall around their cell. And next kingdom is animal. They include all the organisms with the multicellular and eukaryotic cell without chlorophyll and cell wall. They are heterotrophs. The most important characters of animal is they don't have chlorophyll and they lack cell wall. So they don't have, because they don't have chlorophyll. As a result of this, they cannot produce or prepare their own food. So they require food from the outside, and for example, they obtain their food from the other organism like plants and the other animals. So they are known as heterotrophs. They are divided in 10 groups: Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, nematodes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protochordata, and Vertebrata. That these 10 groups we are going to discuss in detail in later. Now let us see the classification of plants. The plants are divided in 5 groups. First one is Pterophyte, Bryophyte, third one is a Pteridophyte, fourth one is a Gymnosperm, and fifth one is a Angiosperm. Here Angiosperm is most advanced type of plants. First group is Thallophytes. In this group, the plants do not have well-defined body part. The plants are called algae. They are mostly aquatic, means they live their life in water. Examples of thallophytes are Spirogyra, Ulothrix, Cladophora, and Chara. You can see this algae in this picture of different algae. First picture of Spirogyra, second one is Ulothrix, third one is Cladophora, and last picture is of Chara. Next group is Bryophyta. In this group, plant body is differentiated into stem and leaf like structure, but there are no specialized structure for the conduction of water and other substance from the one part of the plant body to the other. Means they are composed of leaf and stem like structure, but they don't have conduction structure for the conduction of water and other substance or other minerals. These plants are called amphibians of plant kingdom. This can be asked in exam that which group of plant known as amphibians of plant. So the bryophytes are known as amphibians of plants because they require water. They live in a soil, but they require water for the reproduction. So they are known as amphibians of plant. And examples of bryophytes are moss, Markensia, and Brischia. You can see in the picture the these 4 different picture of the different uh, bryophytes. First picture is of moss, second one is of Markensia, and third picture of is of Brischia. Third group is Pteridophyta. In this group, the plant body is differentiated in root, stem, and leaves, and have vascular tissue for conduction of water, other substance for the part from one part to the another part. Pteridophyta means these are the groups of plant in which their body is differentiated into 3 organs. First one is root-like structure, stem, and leaves, and they have vascular tissue for conduction of water and minerals from one part to the another part of the plant. The examples of pteridophytes are ferns and Marsilea. You can see in the picture that first picture is of fern and second picture is of Marsilea. Fourth group of plants is the Gymnosperm. The plants of this group bear naked seed. That's why they are known as Gymnosperm, and they are usually perennial, evergreen, and wooding plants. Examples of Gymnosperm are Pinus and Cycas. You may seen Cycas somewhere, which is having unbranched stem and needle-like leaf. Gymnosperm, if we break the word gymnosperm, then it get two different words. It is made up of two words. First one is gymno and second one is sperma. Gymno means naked and sperma means seed. So gymnosperm means the plant having naked seed known as gymnosperm. Examples of gymnosperm are pinus and cycles. Now next group is angiosperm, which is also known as phanerogams. The plant of this group bear covered seed, means the seed of these plants are covered. They are also called flowering plants. The plant embryo in the seed have cotyledons, means the embryo in the seed is is have cotyledons. The angiosperm are divided into two groups on the basis of the number of cotyledon. The plant with the seed having single cotyledon known as monocot. Example of monocot is rice, wheat and maize. And the plant with the seed having two cotyledon known as dicot. For example, green gram, priya and other pulses. Means angiosperm are group of plant which having which are flowering plants and their seed is covered. This kind of plants are included in the angiosperm, and these angiosperm are divided into two groups. First one is a monocot and another group is dicot. Monocot means only one cotyledon is there in seed, and dicot means two cotyledon present in the seed. Examples of monocot is rice, wheat and maize, and examples of dicot is green gram and pea and other pulses. For example, and also if we talk about the common example of dicot, then it is a mango, and common example of monocot is rice and wheat. You can see in this picture, in the figure, that the difference between two different kinds of seed of the monocot and dicot. The first upper one seed is a monocot because it have only one cotyledon, where the dicot seed have two cotyledons. Now classification of plants. Plants classified on the basis of if they have differentiated body part or undifferentiated body part. If they don't have differentiated body part, they are included in thallophytes. If they have differentiated body parts, they are included in different groups. If then whether they have differentiated bodies have vascular tissue or don't have vascular tissue. If the plants don't have vascular tissue, it are included in bryophytes, and if it have vascular tissue, then they further divide into cryptogam and phanerogams. The pteridophyte are vascular plants, but they are non-flowering plants, where the other groups producing seed known as phanerogams. Then these phanerogams are divided into two groups which produce seed. First one is a gymnosperm, which produce naked seed, and another one is the angiosperm, which produce seed under cover. Again, angiosperm divide into two groups. First one is a monocot and second one is dicot. Monocots having one cotyledon and dicot having two cotyledon. Now let us see animal kingdom in detail. Now the most important characters of animal kingdom is they don't have chlorophyll, and their cell don't have cell wall, and they cannot produce their own food, and they ingest the food. So these are the important characters of animal kingdom. Now let us see the classification of animal. Animals are divided into many groups. Let us see each one by everyone.